If we can add a restriction for glasses or a piece of adaptive equipment that will help keep people mobile and will allow them to drive longer, we are looking for every possibility to do that. As we get older, we sit differently in our cars. You know, our bodies change a little bit, and it's very important that we make sure that we are comfortable and that we are sitting properly to give us all of the vision lines that we need, and that we're doing everything as safely as possible. In 2016, there were 21,125 crashes involving a driver 65 or older. This resulted in 267 fatalities. I know often when I repeat numbers and when you hear numbers, we always round, right? We round to the nearest zero, sometimes to the nearest 5. But when we're talking about fatalities, each number is very important. And so, you know, 1 is too many, definitely 267, way too many.
So it's quite natural for us then to recognize that indeed the number of older drivers is increasing. And with increasing age does come changes in physical and sensory abilities that can and very often do challenge a person's continued ability to drive. Or as my mother used to say to me, Teresa, I am not an older driver. I am a mature driver. And need I remind you, she would say to me, that she was the one who taught me how to drive. Research and experience tells us that mature drivers like my mom, and I'm sure like many of you and your peers who you see often, they tend to be safe and cautious drivers. But for many and varied reasons, some seniors lose their confidence. So it is important that we all can, and we should, regardless again of our age or stage of life, to think about and plan for the day when we can no longer drive.
Because as we age, we might be a little bit shorter than we used to be. We might have less mobility with different joints. So we are working to make sure that you're in your car safely, and by being so, you're going to be more confident in your driving. Out of the center of the steering wheel comes the airbag, and an airbag will deploy at 200 miles per hour. So many times, if you hear that someone has been injured or killed by an airbag, it's mostly because they've been sitting too close. So we always bring out our handy-dandy 10-inch ruler, and we will have participants hold it at chest level towards the steering wheel as a visual to say, okay, this is as far as I need to be sitting back from the wheel. We do sometimes install these blind spot mirrors, the convex mirrors. It's a very simple, easy thing to put on your mirror to eliminate those blind spots so you have more visibility, especially if you aren't able to turn, you know, and look as far back as you once did. This is something called a swivel seat, and all you do is have it on your seat, and you can back, well, it flattens out, and it swivels. So if you have issues getting in and out of the vehicle easily, there's really simple things out there that can help. One of the images of CarFit from many of our older drivers that we receive as feedback is that they don't want to come out because they're afraid that we will be taking your license. In fact, CarFit is the absolute opposite of that. I am not a police officer. I do not have, you know, any of those capabilities to do that, and that's not what we're looking for. We are looking to really help you because
The state data center statistics indicate that the number of Pennsylvania 65 and older will increase to over 23% by 2040. So currently, they do have more crashes per mile of driving and are overrepresented in certain types of crashes involving the most complex driving tasks. These include
To stop driving. I had grown accustomed to the conversations of hearing a mature driver stubbornly insist that their driving was just as good as it ever was.
even annually to people in our community in need. So we look forward today to provide encountering problems that may involve other vehicles, pedestrians, bicyclists, or animals. So be aware of what's around you. Of course, always maintain a safe speed and keep things. Drivers who successfully complete these courses often qualify for 5% vehicle insurance discounts from their insurers. CarFit, with mobility we know can be devastating to the lives of older Pennsylvanians, and most of us want to hold on to that independence for as long as we save. .dmva.pa.gov. These publications help older drivers assess their abilities and provide safety information. Gives them guidance on next.
And a nice sign that hangs outside, recognizing the good work that's done here as Senior Center of the Year. I know that Surrey Services, your programs, and community centers such as this here.
And it's just not enough because we don't only cover, we have 40,000 miles of state highway. Many of that is interstates. We have 25,000 bridges.
He was able to test out some of these things as well. This is something called a swivel seat. And all you do is have it on your seat and you can flattens out, and it swivels. So if you have issues getting in and out of the vehicle easily, there's really simple things out there that can help. And we just want to really, reinforce the idea.
Not legal and transparent.
Yes, of course. Oh, yeah.